to Jocelyn Crash Course. Our topic today is advances in technology from the 1970s to present day.
I'm gonna need you to raise your glass. I don't care what you put in it. Here's the knots that you can't take back.
A mobile phone, also known as a cellular phone, a cell phone, hand phone, or simply a phone, is a phone that can make and receive telephone calls over a radio link while moving around a wide geographic area. It does so by connecting to a cellular network provided by the mobile operator, allowing access to public telephone network. By contrast, a cordless telephone is used only within a short range distance by a private base station. Did you know that one of the first cell phones was made in 1983? It was called the Motorola Dynatac 8000X, more known as the box phone. Cell phones are a major innovation and they impact the way people communicate. Starting with the telephone stuck to the wall, turned into a mobile device that could be carried around. The cell phone was a phone that was mobile. You could carry it anywhere and communicate easily. It was a breakthrough in the way we communicate. Moving through time, the phone became smaller and more efficient. For example, the Motorola Star, invented in 1996. The phone developed with a screen so you could see numbers, text, etc. For example, the Nokia 1100 made in 2003. A plus to the phone was the camera. The Motorola Razr in 2004, one of the most popular phones. As time progressed, phones added the internet, becoming a dual process phone, and were able to play music, plan events, surf internet only by a couple presses. In 2007, the iPhone was the phone with the QWERTY keyboard and the touchscreen that produced a healthy market for Apple. Apple is one of the most advancing in technology, with cell phones of their most popular invention. Throughout time, such as today in 2014, the iPhone 6 was released, showing how time is staying evolving. The iPhone 6 has an 8 megapixel camera, and an average camera has only 14 megapixels. The Apple phone has more than over half. The phones are evolving.
Years ago, almost 129 years ago, the first gasoline-run car was made by German car Frederick Benz. More famously known about is Henry Ford creating the assembly line in the 1920s that is now used by Ford, Chrysler, and General Motors. The next biggest step in the car industry was the creation of the Model T in 1908, which sold for $805. Back in the day, you could buy 37 cars for the price of one brand new car in present day. As the car business began to boom, cars were the new thing, that is what people used for transportation. After a peaking record at 12.8 million cars sold in 1978, sales of American-made cars fell to 6.9 million in 1982 because Japan took over as the world power for making cars. America then began to rejuvenate its car industry to take back this power. In the 1980s, the car industry provided 1 out of every 6 jobs, and 87.2% of families owned an automobile. Cars have begun to really evolve. In the late 1900s and 2000s, cars began to have air conditioning and heat. Cars now had adjustable seats, sunroofs, aux cords, and radios. The automobiles just keep evolving. Cars now have rear-view cameras, automatic parallel parking, installed Wi-Fi, installed GPS, and are very luxurious. And the technologies in automobiles just keep evolving.
Glass, I don't care what you put in it. Here's the knots that you can't take back.
The first commercial internet service providers, also known as ISPs, began to emerge in the late 1990s. An ISP is a company that provides internet connections and services to individuals and organizations. In addition to providing access to the internet, ISPs may also provide software packages such as browsers, email accounts, and a personal website homepage. ISPs can host websites for businesses and can also build the websites themselves. ISPs are all connected to each other through internet network processes and things. Public network facilities on the internet backbone. Some of the first computers designed for the home consumer were the Commodore PET, the Apple II, and the Tandy Radio Shack's TRS-80. The early edition of the PEDTQ had a built-in cassette tape drive, an unpopular miniature keyboard, and feeble 4 kilobytes of memory. Stupid. The first computer sold exclusively as a consumer product was the Honeywell kitchen computer. Computers of today are thinner, lighter, and have almost endless capabilities. However, the empire of smartphones and tablets have taken over a majority of computers.
The same drum. No, we won't forget where we came from.
This has been the main passage for information for many centuries. They've progressed in the way they are shaped, to the way they are programmed and ran. Black and white broadcasting was out in 1964 when color first made its debut and took over with the required purchase of a new set. CBS and NBC were the main TV stations in the mid-70s. Public broadcasting was created by Congress. TV developed in other countries, and BBC put taxes on it. In 1980, home video cassettes became available almost everywhere worldwide. We could record, rent, and watch movies now. Video games became popular at this time. When HD television came along, it made everything so much clearer, wider, and gave us richer colors. TV industry has resting since the introduction of HD television in 1990. TVs now have Wi-Fi and 3D capabilities.
The owner of Microsoft, Bill Gates, once said, "Technology is not making people less intelligent. If you just look at the complexity people like in entertainment, you can see a big change over my lifetime. Technology is letting people get their questions answered better so they stay more curious. It makes it easier to know a lot of topics, which turns out to be pretty important to contribute to solving complex problems."
Yeah, we always find our way back home. I'm gonna need you to raise your glass. I don't care what